Hello and welcome everybody back to the Dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, and of course the boys as always, as we jump into our first Dark Heresy game of the year. Yes, we are back with the God Emperor's finest. Yeah. Little bit shaky on that, but welcome back. So, for a little reminder, because it's been a couple of weeks, our group of Acolyte wannabes, the only mission they have at the moment after completing most of the mundane missions on the planet, acquiring themselves a quite nice little bar in the middle hive, bringing in an income from that. They are well on their way to reaching their goal for the Inquisition, or at least they think they are. They acquired a gun cutter from the asteroid field just outside of, just within this planet's solar system. They're doing all right. And then they decided to work as staff at a sex party. Bit of a plummet down, but it's okay. It's okay. So our group are going to a sex party. That is going to be for the nobility of our lovely Hive City. They had a week to prepare. Kind of did, kind of didn't. They've got more weaponry, which is good for a place that they can't take weapons into, really. But they got prepared. Yeah. They invited the rogue trader along, which was a fairly smart move. We'll see how well that plays out. He did tell them that he has gained access to the noble in question's inner circle, or at least has reached out and got an invitation to the orgy. Not sure how well that stands on the list of things to do on World, but he seemed happy with it. So, we are actually arriving very close to the day of said party. Shortly before, once our group were given the address for said party, one of their number went and checked it out. Now, unfortunately, that player is not with us at the moment, but when he was here, he had followed a group of children dressed in really tattered grey uniforms, following a group of tutors, essentially. There is a 40k word for it, I can't remember it. As they went about their business in the upper hive. And finally, he saw an individual, presumably the leader of this scolum, this school for orphans, the Scolum Terrenia, which has come up before. A large individual wearing a fedora, quite good, quite snazzy. Before the children were brought inside, none of them looking happy about returning, as the doors shut on this large building in very need of some proper maintenance. But after returning from his scouting mission, not really learning all that much, but getting a few clues here and there, he informed the group about what he had learnt about scoping out the area. And that was pretty much all the time that our team had. But I will be generous. It is the evening before. It's about 6:30, 7. Is there anything our three players would like to see if they can quickly scram together before undertaking the mission?
Hello?
Yes?
You cut out.
At which point? Because I said, have you got guys got anything you want to do the evening before?
As soon as you said I'll be generous.
Okay. So as you were scrambling, the evening before, as you're scrambling about thinking, was there anything else that we could do or should get?
Cut out again.
I don't know why it's doing this. I will have to keep an eye on Discord now. Is there anything you guys want to do on the evening before your mission?
Just get some pointers from Liliana on how to slot it up.
You've already got them. You've spent more than enough time on the pole at your club, being taught by the strippers. If you'd like, you may get 1 point in pole dancing.
Oh dear God. Oh.
Do I have a question. Is that performance? Because you should take that.
Sadly, it was only Mordecai who got performance tips from the strippers of your club, of your bar.
No.
And it was a week's
I was
worth. So,
him, though.
if you want, you could have a point in pole dancing. And yes, it is performance.
You should take that one, okay? That's a few bits of XP.
I will do as soon as I find where performance is on this character
It's a
sheet.
trade skill.
Trade fellowship.
Who you're going to use that on, I don't really know, but hey ho, I'm a generous, benevolent GM. You may have a...
I mean, we do know Mordecai's a twink, so... There we
For
go.
tomorrow evening, he is.
It'll come in useful, I'm sure.
I remember I got a best quality compact microbeat, but I don't remember how I was going to transport any of this. It's been so long. I remember it was... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
Because I remember I was bringing my choker with the garrote. I was bringing sleep dust and the spinathorn with the lucidifite, I think it is, which is the paralyzed thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a lot, but can I? No. Go ahead. Sorry, Mordecai.
I was going to say, I'm bringing in basically nothing. Other than my wits, my charm, and my ability to summon demons. I mean, what?
Did I just go off of Twitch? Right. No, never mind. Sorry, my phone just told me that I had stopped recording. But never mind. I'm still on it on the screen. Carry on.
Oh yeah, I remember. Can I acquire a new form of sex toy? Hold on. Hear me out on this.
Elaborate,
I
please.
can... Excuse me?
Elaborate. What would you... What character...
The thing is, I was thinking, if I can get a sex toy, I can hide the whatchamacallit, the microbead. Is it microbead? Combead? I forgot.
Oh, dear.
Inside the battery compartment of the sex toy.
So I'll for those of you who don't know, whilst you can get sex toys in the 41st millennium, they're not a common item. It's not like dildos of our world where you can go online, and then each world would be Pacific. There probably are rogue traders who deal in black market sex toys. I would imagine there are a few convents on a few cardinal worlds that would probably deal quite well in that. So the thing that I'm coming up against is if you were a noble who was having a sex party, and you got to think high nobility who think everyone beneath their position is scum or there for their own use and pleasure, would you let someone use a sex toy on you to just come along? You can try and blag it, say it's like your favourite butt plug or your favourite whatever you want to try and get. You will have to do a gossip test. So it's not a gossip test, it would be an inquiry fellowship to try and get it. I'm not going to use the influence unless you want to go to the rogue trader. You could use your influence on him. Who do you want to talk to about getting these things?
I mean, honestly, I think I can go through this pretty easily. I mean, it is an orgy/sex party. Having toys there, not to use on the clients, but for the clients,
they would be provided.
Normal.
They would be provided by the noble in question. Because again, so sex toys, you haven't looked into. So I'll tell you on this world, they are a thing, but the ecclesiarchy isn't exactly too thrilled about them being a thing. Things have laxed a little bit, or tightened in some ways around this world's history. But if you asked a Poison Kiss, they'd probably tell you that the nobility would provide their own, because they don't really trust, the underclasses to provide clean and unused or sanitary anything. If you want to try and get one, you can. You just might not get it in. That's all I'm saying.
It's fair. I'll still try to get it because, again, it's a sex toy. So, inquiry, you said?
Inquiry.
I'll just go to the Poison Kiss.
Sure. Okay, so you want to use the Poison Kiss. That will help a bit. Because you're not going into the marketplace going, "Hi, where do you sell dildos?" As citizens pass around the good word. No, so you use a Poison Kiss. Fair enough.
Yep.
Then give me an inquiry fellowship with a +20.
Okay. I fail. I will not reroll that. I'll just let it be.
So unfortunately, you get told that with all the recent violence, a lot of the men have died, which has left a lot of the women feeling rather lonely in the evening. And unfortunately, they just clean out. Just like everywhere's sold out at the moment, and they just can't find you one. They've got a few used ones that if you want to go down to poor quality, you could probably get, but she kind of thinks you're a little bit more upscale than that. No used bath water for you, I'm afraid.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay then. If there was nothing else you wanted to try and do before the event takes place, you get a message come through from the Poison Kiss saying that they will pick you up at 6 a.m. and they will transport your group up to where the party is. If you want, you can make your own way there, or your guards can, but then you'll have to get through the hive's security with your equipment yourselves.
I feel like we probably shouldn't try and get up there by ourselves. Feels like a bad idea given how much Darius and
No, yeah. I think we should just go with a poison kiss.
Is Darius here or is he still gone? Find out soon.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
How dare you, Dark Heresy, Dragon Ball Z. God, what do you think you're playing? Actually, why am I looking at Darius's sheet? I need to look at Ezio's sheet. Ezio, where art thou? Do you have a bag? You do. Excellent. Okay. So, Ezio, you guys have got 30,000 thrones. Huh. Fair enough.
Wait.
At least that's what Ezio's got.
I don't have 30,000. I only have 11,000.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere near that. I think I have like 20.
Ezio has 30,400 thrones.
Bastard's been holding out on us. Either that or he just hasn't spent anything.
Well, he did spend quite a bit on his gun and a ranger and a rangefinder.
True.
Who knows? So, Ezio begrudgingly goes into his room and starts packing his weapons into his backpack, preparing for tomorrow.
Getty new.
I have a feeling Albie may have added on an extra 0 somewhere by accident. Because I'm looking at Jenny's sheet here and she's got nowhere near 10,000 and she's bought bugger all.
I mean, I can't say for him that may be the total amount he earned along the way. But I do remember Jenny spent money on a few things that were very expensive, like the cogitator unit.
Oh no, sorry. No. She's got 19,000 thrones from Nightshade. She's got 5,000 thrones for drugs added by GM. I guess I added that. Did she ever calculate that all up? I have no idea. And then she's got another 3,300 thrones for something else. So yeah, you guys probably have had. Oh, remember, Jim, you spent like 10 grand on your armor.
There is a reason why I'm the one without any money. My armor plus my rune plus my weapons and stuff.
Yeah, no, about 30,000 seems somewhere close. But never mind. So you see Ezio packing all his stuff into his, well, everything he could fit into a bag. Darius too, for he hath thou dropped out. No. Will also be. Oh no, he's gone. He's been taken to isolation.
Yeah, he's in solitary.
Solitary. That's the one. Huh. Shame Jazina's not here. I think he's the only one who can drag people back.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. None of us are administrators in this.
Oh, well. Never mind. So, 6 a.m. comes all too soon as your household servitor wakes you up because, hey-ho, he can act as an alarm clock as well. You guys are able to grab a quick breakfast. You grab your equipment and go downstairs. Maybe even you have breakfast downstairs waiting for the pickup to arrive. He's back! Huzzah!
Woo!
So,
Jim, you sent that as soon as I came back.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's the morning of the sex party. You are just about to get picked up by the Poison Kisses transport to be taken to the building itself to get ready to set up.
Oh Okay. Let me double check something real quick. I've got all of the modifications all set up on my weapons, right?
Sorry, what was that?
I have all the modifications and everything set up on the weapons. It's been
Yes.
since the okay. Okay. I'm gonna move some of the stuff to be on my person. Probably gonna be hiding the ripper clip and yeah, ripper clip and stead holder on my person, and openly using the hunting rifle because we are guards. So there we go.
So this is 6 a.m. You get picked up.
Mhm.
You can have bags of equipment in the Poison Kisses truck if you want. And they're basically going to get you through security. You start off, and I mean, it does take a fair long time. I mean, we're talking like something like 12 hours-ish, give or take. It's not quite that long, as the Poison Kiss seem to have been given or paid to have access to all the express stuff within the hive. So after 6 hours of travel, you will arrive. You all note that when you're putting your stuff into the truck, that actually another bag gets chucked in as Tiffany jumps in the back as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to raise an eyebrow. But that's it.
I suppose she is muscle for the actual gang, so makes sense.
As she comes in,
True.
chucks her bag in and gets into the truck, you'll notice that she actually goes over to all the women there, and she does seem to know a large majority of them, and the new faces. She gets introduced to Urza, the new second in command of the Poison Kiss, is not here.
Okay.
You'll probably notice a couple of out of the fighters, out of the guards, you'll notice a few of them are clearly grizzled veterans of the recent gang wars between the Acid Riot, Better Know More, and the Poison Kiss. A number of them are supporting blatant scars, missing appendages that have been replaced with, at best, common bionics, but more commonly with poor bionics. There's a large number of really cute looking girls in the back of the van, the back of the truck. It looks like they brought all the Poison Kisses hottest chicks, cutest girls, cutest women. This is 40k, it does get real dark. I'm going to try and keep away from the real dark and raise us up to where the FBI don't come knocking, or the MI6 or MI5 or whoever deals with. Yeah, we're not going that deep. No.
Chris Hansen.
No. We don't dive. No. We put a foot into the pond of the seediness, but
Yes, well, actually, no.
we don't go
to
full
your
under.
kitchen. You go to your kitchen. There's Chris Hansen. He asks you to sit down.
Would I take a seat?
Oh dear. So, there's a lot of hot birds in the back of this truck.
I don't know any of them, and I'm very suspicious.
There are a couple that you do know, Darius. From your time when you spent living at the Thirsty Eagle, the Poison Kisses club in the lower hive, there are a couple of girls that you would have at least seen, maybe not spoke to, or at the very least, they said hello to you and you kind of, turned your back to them or looked at the floor or did something weird. So you would at least recognise a couple of them. But there's an awful lot of new faces that you guys haven't seen. But again, Tiffany seems to know most of them. From her perspective, there's only maybe like 10 new girls. But there is probably like 50 women in the back of this it's a big ass 40k delivery truck that inside has been fitted out with seats and basically fitted out for personnel transport, civilian personnel transport.
Okay. I have my personal bubble. If anything comes in with it in between that bubble, I have to make sure it's not a twist. And if it is a twist,
You're fortunate. None were hired for this event.
Except
I
the
don't think
two
so.
in your party.
Semi-twists.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I'm a girl.
I feel like the
It's not
semi-twist was a pole dancing move I learned.
Fair.
Oh, no.
You got me there this time.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Shit.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry.
So, you all arrive after 6 hours. Unless you want to have some conversation with the girls and the muscle, still girls.
I will try to gossip with them. I will ask a few things like, no, I don't see her here. Is she already at the party and stuff like that?
Can I take a look at what gear the muscle have? Like what they brought with them, like in the way of firearms, melee weapons, etc.
Sure. So, on the count of Urza, you don't really need to roll for this. On the count of Urza, she is busy with gang stuff. She has to run all the stuff that the Poison Kiss do down in the lower hive now. She doesn't have time to do something like this. Not since Tiffany kind of left the role. So yeah, she won't be on this mission, but she did send her bests, kind of.
Okay.
For their equipment, you would notice that. Ooh, no, you've had access to the Poison Kisses equipment list because you guys were able to order from them. So essentially, you'll see that most of them have got the needle pistol. Like, they've brought their best equipment out. So most of them have got like the needle pistol. They've a couple of them have got hypo guns that seem to be filled with syringes ready to be shot. They don't have any of their sickles on chains. Their melee weapons seem to all be essentially they're beating sticks that have got padding wrapped around them. Thus, if they do need to beat a noble, they don't actually beat him. If someone does go a bit too crazy at the party, they don't end up accidentally like breaking a nobleman's like arm or something. The ones who are clearly taking the outside work, they actually both have visible chainswords that they will be using. And they even tell you, yeah, we were told, keep the chainswords visible so people know that we mean business in protecting this area.
Looking at my suppressed hunting rifle with a red dot optical, and and the Punisher baton. It's just a big lead pipe.
There are also a couple of girls who pipe in. They actually look like they're dressed in not fine nobility clothing, but low nobility clothing. Darius, you probably would recognize one of them as the boyish looking girl, the infiltrator, who infiltrated the Poison Kiss, the Acid Riot with you guys. This time, however, she has played up to her femininity yeah, whatever. And she like tells you that she's going to be patrolling the streets, and she's got a compact las pistol, a Series S Venom.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I should get.
Just one question: what type of weapon is Tiffany holding? Just so I know if she's inside, if she's outside.
Tiffany, you don't actually know. She's got a bag. All her stuff's in a bag, and she, like, when you get to the location, she takes a whole bag with her. You can ask her where she's planning on going.
I will. I'll go. Tiffany, dear, where are you staying?
Well, I can't go inside looking like this now, can I, love? You may accept this, but the nobility won't. They'll think I'm recording them. So I'll be outside with the muscle. Well, in one of the buildings anyway.
Oh, okay. Stay safe.
You too. She gives you a wink as you get closer and closer. The costumes come out, and all the girls are expected to, and all the boys. I forgot to mention there are a few young-faced young lads in there, and a few grizzled old veterans of the trade. They'll be giving pointers to Mordecai, I'm sure, as the outfits come out, and you're told, hold on to them for now. We'll be getting changed inside the property.
Okay.
Just kind of take what I'm given a little apprehensively, like, okay. So that's time for everything.
I'm just gonna.
But carry on.
I'm just gonna put a hand on Mordecai's shoulder, smile, and say, "Good luck, buddy."
You too. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Just stop muttering to myself. Just in and out. We'll be fine.
So, you arrive. Only Ezio would really be able to tell you that you've arrived, but once the doors open, he leans over on his seat and looks along the street and jabs Darius and gives him a nod. Don't really know what Ezio sounds like, if it's actually Albie's voice or something else. So I'm just not going to try, because I know I can't do Albie's voice. As we come over to the battle map. So, you'll notice, if you're zoomed in like the Soon Raccoon, there is a point in the map that looks like it is floorboards. Can Mordecai and Lysiana please place yourselves in here?
Did you just say Lysiana?
Yeah,
Liliana.
I think I think he tried to say Liliana and Lysiana at the same time.
At least I'm not the only one.
So before Christmas, I mentioned to some people that I had been working in a basement with Fumi paint. My first day back at work, back in that basement with that Fumi paint. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm a bit.
Oh, lovely. Does my character sheet not have a token anymore?
No, you have been placed on. Why is that map so dark?
We cannot see it.
You can't see here?
Nope.
I can see the floor panels.
Yeah, did you?
You're supposed to
All
see
three
the
of
floor
you.
panels here.
Well, no, there's now multiple Mordecais.
I've not seen a single Mordecai.
You may need to refresh the page.
Actually, I have a question. Did you input the the dynamic lighting thingy?
Oh,
No.
that might be a thing.
No.
Yeah, we might not be
No.
seeing because of that.
No.
Refresh.
No, that would all be black. It's like Fog of War.
Yeah.
The Soon Raccoon can't see any of your tokens either, and his screen like has no color in it, which is kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah,
Like the map's black and white.
It,
It shouldn't be black and white. It should be just what? What's going on?
it may be Fog of War.
It's not. The Fog of War's the black. Like this is
Have
not
I somehow placed myself on the GM
What?
layer?
dim lighting
Yeah,
activated. Why is it got dim lighting? Is this
Oh,
what?
so it is the lighting thing. What?
No, but this
What?
Yeah,
none of this should be
I-
enabled. Why is
uh,
now
I mean-
refresh and see if that works? I don't understand.
I just refreshed and didn't help.
also, I don't remember.
Oh,
Do I have a token or is it just my
No, it
picture?
works.
I don't remember.
I've just seen like 3 Mordecais get swept
Ah,
off
there you
into
go.
the darkness.
I saw a flash of Mordecai, and then he was gone.
Okay, so for anyone who sees, if you see the whole map, I do apologise. Don't go looking around it and asking, oh, what's this? What's that? Who's this? Who's he? Why is that named? Why is that? Oh, look at that.
I'm just
But
going to
I'm
zoom in
gonna
on
have
that
to
square.
Turn off Fog of War completely. And now
Oh.
refresh.
Okay. Why is the 3 Mordecais?
I don't know
okay.
where the Mordecais have gone. I saw a flash of them,
Okay,
and
right.
then they were gone.
So, right. Everyone should be able to see everything now, which is kind of sad. but-
Yep.
I couldn't see anything, so I'm
I've
just
got my eyes closed. It's alright.
refreshing. Yeah, there are 3 Mordecais. Okay.
Yeah, no, stay
Oh,
zoomed
and
in.
there's colour.
Stay zoomed in.
I just I can't take control of a Mordecai.
It's alright at the moment. Just wait until this covers everything up again.
Maybe it's a good time to try out the dim light thing. You just have to.
Okay,
give
right. That
us
seems to
visual.
have worked this time. But it is
Just
Platoon
working.
Raccoon. I caught Mordecai half in, half out.
Thank you.
It's alright, your clones are no more. Your clones have been
There we go.
annihilated.
God.
There we go.
As soon as I saw like the Oh, go ahead.
I have no idea what happened there with it going like.
I'm
dim?
pretty sure it's the dynamic lighting because you'd have to add to our tokens that we can see in dynamic lighting.
But
Yeah.
That's the,
we actually
that's the
see.
weird thing, Jim. I haven't done dynamic lighting on this series because I found out on
Yeah.
the Warhammer Fantasy game that there's no point me doing dynamic lighting because all my maps are pre-generated. So if you have line of sight, you go straight through my walls.
Oh no, you can actually turn that off on the settings. You can't when you do the dynamic lighting because you draw in the lines for the dynamic lighting. You can set it so you can't actually go through those walls.
Oh yeah, but that
Yeah.
means I have to go through and draw on these lines on every single map that I download.
Yeah,
and
that's the only thing.
I don't have the time to do. It's for the Rogue Trader game that I'm setting up. I can do that on that because I build a map, I put the dynamic lighting things, I draw around, and okay, then I go on to the next map. I've got like 20 maps that are all pre-made for stuff that I've pre-built for in the future. I'm a busy man. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know why it's active on this particular map though. That's
Was it active though? Because generally it just
No.
turns everything black. It's everything is covered by the fog of war.
Yeah, that's just it. I never turned
turn it
it
black
on
and
on
white.
this game. I never turned it on this game. But I haven't played it since during the Christmas holidays when I added the next stage of the game in. But very weird, but never mind. So, as you can now see where your positions are, we'll do Ezio and Darius first. As the van pulls up, the girls get out. You clearly see the ones that are meant to be doing the protective jobs and the ones that are meant to be going inside. So you kind of, okay, well, follow along with this group. Ezio would probably Yeah, it'd probably be set up in this room. You follow the girls and you notice that whilst a couple of the ones who have blatant chainswords go and stand next to the main door, the rest of them with needle guns and hypo guns, they all go into the building surrounding this very large, this is like a 3 or 4 story mansion. Sadly, maps are not, it is a grand building that most of you are like, wait, how many people live here? One family? That can't be right. That's like the absurdity of the size of this building and the number of like people who would live there, not including the staff and the rest of the nonsense, is just shocking. But okay. Is there anything you would like to do, Darius, as you get set up? And you can go in any building in the map that's not the actual main building.
At the moment, can I just take a patrol around to see if there's anything that looks out of the ordinary?
Yep, sure.
Just give me just sorting out my equipment list. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Primarily walking along the front from, say, like there to there to there and back again. Just doing a little patrol kind of thing.
Sure, you can do that.
Awareness test?
Yes, can I get an awareness test as you go?
Flat or...
Do it flat, and I'll add in any failures or any bonuses or minuses later on. So sadly,
starting off strong.
Sadly, you fail your first roll, but as you walk around, you don't really need. I mean, it's 2 degrees of failure. You don't need much. No, because it's only the 10s. 1 degree of failure. You don't need much to notice that this area has definitely been cordoned off. You don't know how the nobility know that this area has been cordoned off. But as you're walking up and down, these streets are much longer than the map shows, and you can see that nobles are walking past this street, avoiding it entirely. But there's a load of people just, 1 street over, but they just seem to ignore this street. It just doesn't seem to exist to them. You do see a couple of people who, look down to see what's going on and then wander off, but it's a rare few. Most just walk past as if there is no road that no road that leads down.
Okay. All right, in that case, I'll take up position over here.
You'd also notice that the air is quite lovely up here. It almost has a fragrant, it almost has a taste to it, but a very sweet, pleasant.
Okay.
Sure.
Is there a back door here, or is this just...
No, there isn't a back door. There is a road that leads all the way round the house. You can go all the way round. They are detached, each property. But basically, you would have done that on your circuit round, and you can see that there's no one hanging about, or at least you do obviously pick out the infiltrator, who's also on the streets, and she's like looking at windows and looking into places, just like eyeing up the finery and trying to blend in. She's not doing a very good job of it, but she's trying. She looks a bit overwhelmed with, holy shit, look at all this nicery. Look at these houses with all their fine shit. I come from fuck. Look at that. Look at it. Yeah. But you still have a few hours before it's actually time. It is currently 12 PM.
Okay.
But
no,
because you got up at 6 a.m. Yeah, so it's 12 p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's midday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Two more things at the moment. Is it just Poison Kiss helping out, or are there other mercs or mercenaries or anything?
You don't see any of the Wild Wardens who they've been known to work with before. Your group seems to be the only mercenary group that's with them. So it's just ladies.
Okay. How high up are the windows?
So the ground floor windows are placed higher than your normal modern day window. They probably come up, like the window ledge probably starts at around your neck height. They are quite tall to try and stop people from peeping in, or making it more difficult for people to peep in.
For reference, I believe Darius is lanky, apparently. Or rangy.
Lanky. Like when you look round, and again the map doesn't show it properly, when you look at where the two Poison Kiss are standing at the front door, there are steps leading up and a fine porch area of like a fine carved stone that goes round. So the first floor is technically higher up than the pavement, the ground floor that you're... This is an odd way of saying it.
It's like a raised foundations.
Yes, essentially. But the property could have a basement, which adds into it. So that's why when you're like, you're tall enough to be able to look through, but you're looking at the bottom of the window, rather than in our modern day. You'd be at least looking at like the middle of the window, the upper part of the window. If you're lanky, you're about 6 foot. You're around that height. So yeah, these are tall ass, high ass windows. But they are open at the moment. You would notice that there are girls like running around, setting up things, moving stuff around. It appears as if this is a big hall of some sort. There's a quieter area off to the side that appears to be having game tables set up in. There's another area off to this side where just chairs have been placed and a table and some drinks have been placed. This area here is the welcoming area where big tables are being placed, and it looks as if they're putting table sheets down on the tables, getting it ready for perhaps food. And then this area seems to be a very large open area with tables, chairs, probably the main greeting area where people will start the party.
Okay. Okay. I'll patrol around for a little bit longer. As it gets closer, can I just again keep an eye out for those that are arriving? If there is anyone else that arrives, and can I watch some of the Poison Kiss, see if they are watching me when I do my patrol?
Sure, give me another awareness check. You basically know where they are, so their stealth checks don't really apply so much. I'll probably just give you a -10 for, you know, they went in that house, but you're not entirely sure where they... Oh, right, there she is, you know, that kind of...
I'm gonna spend a fate point to get that up to flat. I have a feeling my rolls are gonna be crap today. Yep. There we go. At least it's not as bad as it could have been. Alright, it's not failed as bad as it could have been.
So,
just my threshold.
as you're a military man, I will give you this. You do get, at least you get the sense of like being in an area under Overwatch, if that makes... And you're not sure if they're watching you but you do feel as if you have, like, you're in someone's gaze. People are scanning the streets. It's not the same as when you're in the guard and you knew you were, you know, your buddies were overwatching you as you move up and check an area. But there's a similar, you can definitely feel like the back of the hairs of your neck are like twitching a little bit, and you're like, just from your background. But yeah, you don't know if they're actually studying you to see if you're like watching you the whole time.
Okay. Fair enough. I might try again later, but for now I'm happy enough.
Sure. So we move over to the two inside. So Mordecai, Liliana, you're led in with the rest of the entertainment. As you go in, you can see that the rooms are basically empty. Nothing's been set up yet. But as you go in, you're all basically, there's clearly an older gal who's been around the block a few times. Kind of got some dead eyes going on, but she seems to be wearing contacts that are helping her look at least a bit lively. She seems to know what's going on, and as the girls all come in, and a few guys, she's like lines you all up and says, hold on to your bags. They'll want to go through your bag with your costume in. They're going to scan you, and then we go off to the next bit. That's what it should be. She does kind of stop for a minute. We might have to strip, but it depends on how worried they are. But you don't know with nobility.
I thought that was part of our job here anyway.
She shrugs. Goes back and kind of her head tilts, and she does this 1,000-yard stare of just, she's seen too many cocks. She's just seen them all shapes, all sizes. It just, or she thinks she's seen them all. She thinks.
Laughed in Slaanesh.
I hope she never sees Slaanesh cocks.
So about 15 minutes after you get in and you're queued up and the door shuts, you'll see three men come in. They seem to be in a household uniform. It's very flamboyant, very colourful, very much carapace. You're taken aback a little bit by the fact that, yes, there are 3 carapace armed troopers in this establishment. One of them seems to have a Auspex. No, not an Auspex. Is it an Auspex, or is it? It's not an Org. No, hang on. It is an Auspex. Yes. I believe, and this is where I might be wrong, an Auspex in 40k is basically a metal detector, but an Auger array in 40k is something that can literally scan a person and go, well, they've got metal in this area here. That must be a weapon. Auspex arrays can come in all shapes, sizes, and variants. This is clearly not a Astartes class Auspex that is designed to seek out heat and motion, and this seems to just be it's quite a chunky device. It's about 1.5 feet long that one trooper has in one hand, but it's almost looks as if it's strapped to his arm, and it has a big readout display on it. It looks like it came from like the 70s. One of the troopers steps forwards. Right, we are the house guard of the noble house Hoffer. You will do as we say. We will not have any back chat from any of you. Let's get this done quickly, ladies and gents. He motions to the small group of guys that's kind of huddled. Not sure what they're doing here. Just like, oh.
I bat my eyes at him.
So he looks disgusted. He's just like, fuck it. Shakes his head. The other two also shake their head in disgust. The older, more veteran girl steps forwards and, okay, well, I guess I'm first then. Strip, please. He takes the uniform, almost snatching it out of her hands, opens up the uniform bag, and the guy goes over with his scanner. It doesn't take long. Like, you're kind of surprised. Like, he tells her to strip. You look over at them going through the bag. You turn back and she's just naked. You know, just whoosh, gone. Matey goes over her with the scanner as well. Yep, clear. The other guard spends a bit longer staring. And did you notice that this is the procedure for most of the girls? About seven get through. Liliana, you are getting closer and closer to the point of no return for yourself. But the guards aren't letting the girls move on. The girls are all still in one corner of the room. And time is ticking on, apparently, as they seem to be giving the guards, or the ones who have passed, are giving the guards a bit of lip. Can we not hurry this up? Look, we've been paid to do a job. Can we at least get changed again? And one of the guards seems to like put his hand out. No, you stand there naked. You know, you are being paid for the job. Shut up. Liliana, would you like to do anything as your your turn in queue is coming up? But if you wanted to, you could try and get further. Like, you could, at the moment, like, there's a couple of girls who technically are behind you, so you can try and slip behind the other two girls if you want, so they get searched first, or you can just try and flag.
I'll just mention. I'm gonna blag my way through. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm not sure those nobles can be too happy having to wait this long, can they? Can this just move a little bit faster?
You would notice that the guards, so like 7 girls have gone through. The veteran girls kind of went first to show the others that it's all right. It's, you know, like a band-aid, whip it off. However, the prettier girls who have come after, things have slowed down just a little bit. As, oh, I need to, the scanner's not working. Let me get closer. And, oh, you'll have to turn around. It's not scanning. It's only scanning half of you.
I would imagine. I mean, I know the good people that we're going to be servicing are going to be so happy to know that we're being held here, because she's just gonna look at one of the dudes scanning one of the pretty girls. Because of, well, do I have to say?
I will remind you it's 12 p.m. So it's still a long way off before like, the girls haven't set up the party yet. They haven't done it. This is just you getting into the house. So there are no nobles waiting or...
And then never mind. I'll just wait my turn then. I thought they were already here.
No, they're not here. The girls do seem to be getting snippy with the guards for because the girls have got things that they need to do. They need to set up for the party, get the tables arranged, get in outfits, you know, check that the pole's securely in place, you know, get ready. But the guards are taking their sweet time by enjoying the searching process.
And then just, instead of saying that they will be, probably be unhappy to be kept waiting. I'm just gonna say, come on, let's just move this along, shall we? You're gonna probably be inside the entire pod. You can enjoy eye candy the entire night. Come on, we have work to do.
Do you want to try and get the girls to speed them up? If you do, you'll need to give me a charm test.
I will try that.
So give me a charm test. This is the Poison Kiss girls. I'll give you a +10.
Okay. Oop. Almost at to 100. Ooh, baby. I do believe that's 7 degrees.
As you nudge the girl, this is pathetic. I mean, look at them, Oi, quieten down. We're being thorough. It's what we're paid to do, isn't it? One of the girls who's clearly one of the veterans who's already gone through the scanner. Look, I've done this game more times than, you've got it off, my friend. You'll get a good look at the party started. Is this needed? Just run the scanner over. We've got things to do. She stood there completely, bare to the world, just being sassy with one of the guards. We will see. Look, all right, we'll speed it up then. Stop stripping them, just get them scanned. One of the guards, clearly the boss who was, basically watching them strip, goes off into another part of the house. You still have the pervy guard who's just staring at all the girls as they clear, but now he's also unzipping the bags and turning the bags to be scanned. And the other guard has come through and basically just grabbed the clothing, chucked it to the other guard, gone with the scanner to scan the last 2 girls. And then you, Liliana. So,
just so we're no longer stripping, right?
No, you don't need to strip. Okay. What equipment have you got on you that
I have
is metal?
My choker with the garrote. Metal? Nothing. I mean, jewelry, but I can just take those off. I place everything that I brought on the ship part of my thingy. So
he goes to. I can't believe he's done this. He goes to run the scanner over you, from toe to head, going up from your body towards your head. Silence as it passes your feet and goes up your shins. Silence as it passes your groin. Silence as it gets to your torso. Silence as it gets to your neck. And as he's about to give up and he's going up onto your head. What the?
What beat?
What in the hell was that? Let me check your sheet to see if it was you.
On the ship portion of my sheet.
Can't be.
I haven't brought it.
Do you not bring it? I thought you said you were going to bring it.
Nope, I didn't bring it.
As soon as it went onto your head, Liliana. What in the hell? What was that? He goes and runs the scanner over you again. From the feet to the shins, to the hips, to the waist. Yeah. To the torso, to the neck, to the head. What the fuck? What's going on? What? He runs the scanner over you again. That must be... Fucking machine.
I'm just gonna cock my head to the side. Is it the machine, or are you just enjoying the show?
Move
And
along.
I'm just going to smile, shake my head, and move.
So just so that we're all with it, he rolled a natural 8 for his scanner. Natural 8.
Ooh.
He set something off. Huh. Wonder what he could have set off. Who knows? He looks over towards the twinks and the fucking God, Emperor, help me. Mordecai, did you bring anything with you?
Just my choker locket thing around my neck.
Yeah, I should mention that my pendant, which is my psi focus, is jewelry. So
So they would remove your jewelry and just look at it, just check that there's, if it's a locket, they open up the locket and go, okay, well, there's no weapon inside there, no drug, no. If you were thinking they would, if you've got it, especially if you've got it on display, which,
Yeah.
if you want to get
I've got it on
past,
display.
if you want to get past that, it's a sleight of hand check. But yeah, they look inside to check. Okay, it's like a pressed flower inside of yours, so they don't give a fuck. They close it and meh. They scan you and nothing comes up. They scan the guys and nothing comes up. Right. In the back, the dude still hasn't let the other girls who had already stripped get changed yet. You hear a debate going on. What is the point in us being naked? Yeah, like, can't we get dressed by now? Yo, fam, what's all this about? Let us get our clothes back on, isn't it? There's proper ghetto bitch in the corner.
with her 9-inch nails.
just one question, because out of character, I know exactly what the 8 got on the thingy. Can I roll awareness? Because Liliana doesn't know that. I know exactly what the scanner got.
I'm confused.
Unfortunately,
Just awareness to look around. I don't expect to see anything.
you can roll, sure. And there's only one number I'll accept, sadly, and it wasn't that number.
No.
So you're just like, what the
It's
fuck?
precisely because of. I'm just gonna.
God damn it.
I do actually just believe he was just, eyeing me a bit too much.
So you're brought in. Obviously doors are all shut. The girls are getting snippy with the guy, and he's now saying, "Look, we're going to give you a talk, and then you're going to get changed. So you might as well stay naked." Some of the girls take this as a fine. We can get dressed then, and he doesn't stop them. A couple of the more grizzled veterans of the trade, they're just like, well, I'm going to be naked all night. I might as well stay naked. The other guard comes back, clearly the leader of these 3. And again, they're in very vibrant, garish colours here. He comes in and, right, so the lords will arrive in 6 hours. You'll be fed in 3 hours' time. Try not to get bloated, any of you. You'll have the rest of the time to get set up. You'll be ready to service the lords at 5:30. They like to see things lively. So, for those of you who are participating, they want to see you already in it. Not just getting started and placating them. If you need any stimulants, just let us know. We have a couple of extra ones available if anyone needs a little bit more energy. the lords will be, of course, having their fun as well. So don't OD, for fuck's sake. Show them the dressing rooms and be on your business. The two other guards are like, right, okay, come on this way. This is where you'll be getting changed. This is the room Mordecai and Liliana are in now. That's the changing room. Yes.
I would just like to murmur to the girls, you just call us fat, bloated, stuck-up prick. Just to be a little bit, just to play the part.
Sure, you could do that. Yeah, what a cunt. Calling us fat. Well, Sarah, you are a bit fat. Hey! I'm voluptuous.
No. Nobody here is fat. We're all beautiful. Come on, let's go get changed.
Some of us are going to be bloated by the end of the night, though. But not by food, I suspect.
I'm just gonna look at Mordecai, blank stare. Slow head turn, look at him, and just like, really?
Just a wink.
Really? Just shakes his head.
One of the twinks walks past shaking his ass. Oh, you just don't know.
See, he gets it.
So,
Shakes.
Jesus. Jesus. You all get changed. You all get changed and ready for the party. You help out, after getting changed, you kind of help out moving tables into place before everyone would then, have their food, get ready to put their makeup on, blah-de-blah. For those of you outside, you see a number of delivery cars start turning up from about 1 o'clock onwards, and those of you inside would notice that delivery men keep bringing in more crates of alcohol, more platters of food that gets taken down into the kitchen that seems to be downstairs in the basement. You don't see any of the kitchen staff for quite some time, but when you eat, one of the girls gets sent down and she comes up with all the food, and at least lets you know, there's kitchen staff down there and house staff, but they don't have anything to do with this. Their lord doesn't want the normal staff to see him in such a precarious predicament of having his trousers down and spanking a boy. It's not good. So I did say I wasn't going to go to that dark place. I was very... Young man. Oh boy. Yeah.
We don't want the Pope to turn up.
Certainly not. Not Space Pope. That would be terrible. So you're going around, you're taking in deliveries. For Darius, you see a lot of delivery trucks turning up. At about 3 for the outside team as well, it looks as if Darius and Ezio, you both have a delivery truck come round and food gets dropped off to all the positions where the Poison Kiss are located. Not that he's here to hear that, but just so you all know, I fed him as well. Sure enough, time moves on, as it always seems to do. You inside the house. You are now dressed, ready. The girls have done your makeup, Mordecai. Liliana's probably had a bit of help from some of the tartier girls, just doing those extra tarty lines with the eyeliner and shit that you see. You are all fancy and very, very exposed, but ready for the ball. So, we're going to skip part of the endeavor because it'd be very difficult to have it work with a map like this. So it is now 7 o'clock. All the nobles who are going to turn up have turned up. you've all been there when the noble Hoffa had turned up, and you were there when the other high nobility had turned up. 3 of the faces you recognize. 3 of the faces you recognize from the pick recordings of the governess, or planetary governess.
Good start.
You're introduced to Lord Hoffa. At once, all the nobles there. There's a lot more people on the map than what are shown as tokens. It's just I couldn't be bothered to put down 1 million tokens for people that don't matter. But you see that he greets everyone, and then they kind of disperse. Hoffa and the other nobles go straight into the orgy room. The other nobles, it's a very weird sight. You can see that whilst there is a lot of kinky noise coming from down here, an awful lot of kinky noise for at least Liliana and Mordecai. If you were so brave as to go anywhere near that area, like 2.5 hours ago, you'd have seen the kinky times getting started. They were kinky at the start, and it's been going on for some time now. They're all back. The high nobility are back there. The lower nobles tiptoe around. A couple of them very brazenly went back there, but most of the nobles don't seem to actually be getting involved in the sex party. They mainly seem to be congregating in this area. Mordecai and Liliana have not been called to the back room yet. You haven't had a reason to go back there just yet. But it is from this point on that you can decide. Where would you two like to be for the first part of the sex party?
Probably out.
I'm gonna be working. If there's a bar area where, the waiter serving people, I'll be in that area.
Yeah.
Probably around this place then.
There's no bar. So you can see that girls are coming and going with drinks. You'd probably be going and picking up drinks from servers and then walking around. The whole area is open to you. I will actually reveal the whole area. Do I need to reveal? I can leave that area.
Vladimir.
Okay, so Darius, you saw a large number of vehicles turning up and delivering food and drink for the party.
Yep.
Time moved on. It got to about 3 o'clock, and you had a food delivery come for all the guards outside. At 6 o'clock, all the nobility were meant to start arriving. We're now at 7 o'clock, where the party has been in sway. All the nobility have turned up and done their speeches. You haven't noticed anything outside odd. All the vehicles that turned up were blacked out. Like, all the windows were completely blacked out. You couldn't tell who got here. And the way that the doors opened, pretty much all the vehicles had dual swing doors. So they were kind of obscured a little bit from view from each side. But you were able to see that nobility were turning up. We're now at 7 o'clock, when the party's in full swing, and the PCs inside can choose where they'd like to be. So, the orgy. It was the best I could do with the assets that Roll20 provides. So,
it's just a very particular type.
Yeah, it's called the lay down and sleep.
Let's say that for every
everyone do the flop.
No, that dude is facing the floor on top of a woman. he's at least facing the right way.
Yeah,
Let's
but it
say that
goes
for every
back.
2 tokens, for every token, there's 2 people to bulk up the numbers a bit.
Okay.
So Darius, from and Ezio, he's not here. From about 6 o'clock. Well, no, sorry, a little bit earlier. About 5:30, you may have even seen Liliana and Mordecai going round and shutting all the curtains of the property, so no one can see what they're about to start doing.
Damn it. No, I wouldn't say that. Well, I would, but Darius wouldn't.
So, for the people inside, where do you want to be at the first part of this event?
Is there a
Right where I am.
There's no restriction on where you can or can't go, but you know for a fact that all the people in this room here you have never seen before, whereas the people in the high nobility, the ones that you saw on the pick feeds speaking, who were next to the planetary governess, have all gone into the back room.
Oh, they're here too.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go there.
When the party's in full swing, by the way, can I make a Psyniscience test?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to do that, like, kind of periodically throughout. Just because I'm always paranoid about Psyniscience. And it's gone well to start.
I'm gonna be walking around the party. I'm assuming this over here is the kitchen. So I'll just
No,
be
you can't.
grabbing it.
That's a buffet area where food is being brought up. So far, it doesn't look like you guys have been. So the ugly people are bringing food in here. I'll say it. Fine. The ugly people are going from the kitchen down below to the main floor, and they pass off the food and drink to the beautiful people. And yes, you and Mordecai were both put in the position of beautiful people. So you don't need to go down with the scum and peasantry.
And I'll just be grabbing drinks. I will spend the first part of the party over this area here that I currently am. Every now and then, if I have to, and if one of the girls asks me to go serve another area, I will go to. I really don't want to have to go down here, but I will probably eventually have to go down here every now and then to serve drinks.
No, so again, guys, way that these games are set up, I have to do it in where are you for each part of the party. I don't care what you're doing at this point. I just need to know, right, I'm going to be in this area, so you know what's happening in that area, because it's a long party with things happening all round.
Yep, then again, sorry. I'll just stay over this area then.
And Mordecai, you're staying in the same area, or are you going somewhere else?
I'll be... if I can get my character sheet out of the way. Yeah, I'll kind of be in the same area, mingling.
Okay, your choices are locked. So, the party is underway. An hour passes as the lower nobility within the area that you're at mingle, talk, drink. Occasionally, Mordecai and Liliana, you get a bit of an arse grope, but nothing too long, nothing too awkward, just a slap on the arse as you go by. I know the feminists of today would be outraged, but sadly in 40k, this is just accepted. So, as you're going about and serving drinks and doing what you're meant to be doing, giving entrees to people, can you give me an awareness check? Can you give me an awareness check with a -10?
Yeah, nope.
Slanesh rules, but nope. Can I also do a Psyniscience?
Sure, you can do a Psyniscience.
Both Korn and Solanesh said no.
It's kind of worrying. Oh, Corn's turned up again. No.
Don't mention
Jesus
them.
Christ.
Stop
Jesus
jinxing
Christ.
us. Damn it.
Okay, God Emperor protect. So, the party goes on. You cannot leave this area. You can see several people are talking. Do you want to do anything?
Try and people are talking. I'm gonna try and overhear conversations if that's possible. Maybe
Sure.
under the guise of giving them drinks or
Sure,
offering my services.
you can do that. That is completely within your power. So you go around the room delivering drinks. Most people who so you're walking around with a drinks tray. Most people are taking the drinks that you're offering, some sort of off-world sparkling wine that comes from the nearby agri world. Most people just see the glass, the essentially champagne flutes, and just take one without really talking to you at all. But let's give one of them to see. Okay. As you get over to one of the tables, the two gentlemen look over your tray, and one of them, no, Amasek, that's highly sad that you couldn't provide the finest of goods. It is most disturbing. Can you not acquire some for me?
How did Humperdinck get here?
I was about to say, like, is the warp opened up and swallowed Humperdinck?
The individual is a large man who is wearing a grey suit, a grey fedora hat. He has large jowls that seem to judder every now and then when he talks.
Oh, lovely.
I repeat my previous question. When did you die?
I only have so many voices, damn you all.
Why do you want to damn
and
us?
Can you also give me a... Yeah, I guess it would have to be awareness. Because you are just... Oh, actually, you can give me inquiry perception.
Inquiry? I mean, it's the same role, but it's
hang on, wait, hang on. Is it... would? Yeah, no, that is right. It would be inquiry, I believe.
Yeah.
Perception.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing for me either way, but inquiry I roll less often.
Okay, with 2 degrees of success. You gesture, yes, my lord, I'll bring it right over. In your most tweakish of ways. And you hear, Estoc, the recruits that you brought were just excellent, just marvelous. I've had so many willing clients for their talents. Sadly, the other individual doesn't say a word if you stand there.
I would go off and get some Amasek and bring it right back to him.
So essentially you go up to one of the girls who's at the entrance to the hallway, to the staircase. They're basically constantly peering out, and as you come back, Amasek, something nice? And they nod to you and they dart off down. And, you have a quick gaze around the room. The individual that the fedora-wearing man is talking to is talking back, now that you have left his vicinity. And Amasek is quickly brought to your tray, and you're able to go back over. with your...
You cut out,
Yeah,
I
we'll
think.
keep. Yeah, no. I was thinking we'll keep with your 2 degrees, as you come over and present the drink to your lord. Well, no, sorry, your lord in another game. To the fedora-wearing gentleman. Edward, it will be harder now. Unfortunately, our means of acquisition are no longer viable. You'll have to do with what you have. Most regrettable. Most regrettable. I shall have to see what we can do about this. But it's starting to hurt my mouth having to do his flappering. Does it actually come through as his flappering?
Yes, it does.
Awesome.
Yes, it does. And it is amazing, and I love it. And hate it, because it's disgusting. So.
I mean, we always knew Humperdinck was a degenerate, so...
I mean, true.
Also, Jim, you just served Humperdinck at the party. Or Mordecai did.
It's not Humperdinck. Yep. He does a
I heard
thing that goes on. A slappy.
I mean, treble chin, same thing.
I look over at the gentleman.
He's got.
Yeah. I look at the gentleman he's with. After I serve him in the Amasek, just. Would you like anything, my lord?
I am no lord, and no, I am quite fine, thank you. Be gone.
Don't know what you're missing then, and walk off.
He has the most peculiar coloured eyes you've ever seen.
Oh fuck! They're gonna be purple, aren't they? What colour are his eyes, so I can put it in my journal?
Give me an awareness check. -20. No, it's noticeable enough. -10.
Fuck. Also going to do a perception test, however. Not perception, Psyniscience.
Psyniscience.
Because I succeeded one of them. I do them often enough.
They are just this really, really, really dark purple colour. Just the weirdest colour eyes you've ever seen, but dark, dark purple.
I'm just gonna
You don't notice anything else. However, once you've taken your leave and you reach out with your psychic gifts, there is a psyker somewhere in the orgy. You're not sure where, but they seem to know, well, you've pinged each other. By now, at least.
Did you just say by now, at least?
Yes.
Or, okay. So it was...
They may have got you sooner than you got them.
I mean, I rolled badly, okay? Twice. Korn even intervened. Sorry, I'm just writing down notes from... At this point, I just go over to Liliana and just mention to her, we're not the only two unique souls here tonight, and hope she gets the gist of that, and walk off to try and seduce someone to go into the orgy room with.
Also, you also felt a dampening around a few individuals here.
A dampening?
Yes.
What kind? Like a psychic dampening, or?
Yes.
Okay, they're being careful. Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna smile, slap his ass as he's going away.
But sadly, part 1 is over. Part 2 of the party comes around. It is now 8 o'clock. Where would you position yourselves?
Oh, I haven't got someone to go into the orgy room with me yet. Mingling with people so I can get into the orgy room.
You can go into the orgy room whenever you like.
Okay.
Because you can walk in there, have a plate of drinks, and just you guys can go wherever you please. You can take food in with you if you really want, or drink. It's entirely up to you.
Popcorn.
Actually, looking around, do I see the rogue trader?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a plate of drinks in.
If Monica is going to be spending, just one question: are these the same, considered the same area, and these two the same area too?
No. There's 3 areas. You can pick between the hallway, the meeting hall where you're in now, the orgy room, or the games room. They're the 3 places that you can pick.
I will be going to the games room.
Oh, hang on. Just before I start part 2, I just need to check in case anyone leaves. Midas is... Oh, god damn it. I'm going to have to zoom in. Yeah, zoom in. So, Midas. Where the hell is Midas? There he is. Midas. You need to fuck off into your room.
You need to
I'll
fuck
move you
off
in a second.
into the sun.
Estoc and Edward. Hang on. Move to there. Move to... Oh no, hang on. No, Sam and Dean are going to move over to here. So they move
Their
out
last
of the
name
games.
isn't Winchester. I'm going to be upset.
And of course, it is at this point that our illustrious friend turns up. So you can move your tokens wherever you would like them to be. For the next part, Liliana, you may want to change your course.
I don't. Okay, I will change my course then. I will be staying over here then. Because apparently the games room has nobody in it.
Yes, no one at this point. So,
yes, I'll remain over here.
At 8 o'clock, Darius, for you and Ezio outside, and the Poison Kiss members, you see them get their backs up. They go on guard as a luxury class skimmer, well, luxury class flyer, comes in. You weren't... Can you get flyers in this part? You don't see Sky, but you definitely see a flyer in the colours of the Rogue Trader. It is a sleek, sports line civilian class skimmer stroke flyer. And it settles down in the street, beautifully parked. You can see that the pilot is visible in the cockpit, and it's not the second 2 class pilot. But you see this magnificent, sleek craft settle down, and then the door open, and a man you recognise in a fine outfit, holding a glass, a crystal glass, drinks what remains, stepping out. As he steps out, the flyer takes off again. The Poison Kiss at the door are just like, what the fuck? There are flying vessels that come into the hive? What? I have arrived, it seems. Excuse me, ladies. Won't you... I'm sorry. What? Who are you? I am pained ladies, that you do not at least have my name marked down as a person of note? For I am the rogue trader Captain Jack Briston von Ross. Were you not told? They just kind of look like what? Like, take their data slates that they have or were given. I'm sorry, my lord. The party's already started. Go on in. Everyone's been announced. I do not need announcing. I'm quite fine as I am. The rogue trader enters the property, looks round, and immediately, in a very loud voice, "Oh, now come. I was told that there would be people of finery here. Why are you all so glum? Why is this the least sexy party I've ever been to?"
As soon as I hear that voice, I'm not gonna turn around to look at him. I'm just gonna be looking. I would be with my back towards him and just thinking, "Oh fuck, he's finally here."
Oh,
Two of the guards who you saw earlier come down. You haven't seen these guards all night, and they appear to have come from downstairs, up and in. They're looking at the rogue trader. One of them has a scanner in his hand. "Ah, I see. You are my you are my greeting party. Do you wish to scan me? You may if you wish." One of the guards kind of looks to himself and like hits his ear. And like you imagine he's talking to someone on the other end of his comm bead. Whereas the scanner kind of like not really where he's offered. Turns on his scanner and goes from the toes. Beep 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 beep. He just beeps.
He is the beep.
My lord, you will have to forego any weapons, or I will not. You can tell Lord Hoffer that I will be awaiting his. I will be awaiting him. Go and get me a drink, would you? Some food, perhaps. I'd like to try your planet's delicacies. Here is my cognon chip for this world, just in case you need to run my my profile. He hands over a silver coloured chip with finery engraved on it. He takes it and goes over to the other guard, the one who seems to be in charge, and "Thank you, my lord. If you don't mind, we will go and inform Lord Hoffer." He looks kind of... they've got full carapace. That includes the faceplate. No, does it? Hang on. Yes, that includes the faceplate, as far as I'm aware. You can see their eyes are showing, but they do have a thing that covers their mouth. They kind of turn around and leave as he sits down. He hasn't noticed you, Liliana, whatsoever. As he sits down and actually calls one of the noble ladies who are here over to sit with him a while and tell him of her beautiful world. He really must know of what finery they have to offer. Will she go on the chair? No. She sits on the side of the chair like a lady, apparently.
Real quick, does Mordecai have a combat on?
No.
Okay.
No. Literally none of you guys actually got like the compact thingy.
I did have one, but the thing is, I opted to not bring it. It is unfortunate, but...
Okay. I'm just calling Ezio saying rogue traders here.
You get an affirmative over the comms. Hard to miss. Comes in as well.
I'm gonna take a deep sigh. After I watch the thing, I'm gonna grab a plate with food and drinks. And I'll head over here and say, "Excuse me, my lord. I heard you required some drinks." I'm gonna offer him the lady drinks.
Oh, well, aren't you a beautiful little thing there? Shame how skimpy, too revealing. I'm afraid he turns to the noble lady. I prefer a woman with more class. The hiding of the body is far more seductive in my world. Aboard my ship, we have a little bit more decorum, I suppose, but very nice indeed. I will have an amasec, of the Ultramar Segmentum. No, the planet Ultramar. Yes, I will have a amasec of their year. What year, my lady? Year. What year would you say was the best amasec from Ultramar? She looks like, holy. You want what? You're 50 years? No, my lady, that's too young. Far too. My lady, that's younger than you are, I'm sure. No. Remember, nobility, they've had rejuvenate treatments.
I
So
know.
she blushes, she does blush at that. Should anyone out there not know about 40k, they get rejuvenative treatments that basically halts the aging process. A human can live like 600 years in 40k, so high nobility, old fuckers look young.
Marketed.
A little bit like elves.
I'm just looking. I'm just looking at him with that face.
But
Really?
my lady 50, no. 1,000-year-old should Lord Hoffer should be able to provide a 1,000-year-old amasec from planet Ultramar, should he not? He kind of looks to the noble lady, who just looks shocked, just utterly like, what the fuck does this nutter want? Be a dear and go and see if he has any, would you? He turns to you, Liliana. I mean, if not, I shall have to combead my vessel and inform them that they'll have to send down a case or two.
Of course, my lord. Unfortunately, we do not have combeats, but I'll go check.
No, my dear, you. I will communicate to my vessel with my combead. Some of these servants are a little slow, do you not find, from this world? No, our servants are quite skilled, actually. The Scolem Terenia provides many of our servants. Oh, do they now? I shall. Well, perhaps you're not from there, my dear, are you? Yes, I will combead if they do not have any. Tell me of these serfs. He begins talking to the noble lady about good serfs.
I'm still smiling, just like in the picture. Just gonna nod and go away. Find a server and look. Find one of the other ladies and say, "That nutjob over there wants 1,000-year-old amasec
From Ultramar.
from Ultramar."
So the server is kind of like, we have 1,000-year-old, yes. Ultramar, like just jaw drops. Just, we don't have anything of the like. Are you sure that's what he wants? He seems to notice that there's a shock look going on from the woman that you're speaking to. You can probably hear him go, "One moment, my lady, I must cool my ship." He hits a microbead in his ear, and you hear him talking very boastfully about bringing down 2 cases, make it 3, of the 1,000-year-old amasec of the proud vineyards of Ultramar.
I'm going to turn around, but clasp my hands together, give him a deep bow, and say, "Very generous, my lord." Look back at the girl and just whisper, "He's a fucking nutjob, isn't he?"
She's just like, oh, wealth of such an unimaginable standing. Oh. Like she's utter like melting in his hands. The sad part of 40k nobility, just the wealth just makes her just melt, dripping wet puddles underneath her. So, moving on. So, you are in the right area, Miss Liliana.
Yeah, I would also like to every now and then go over here and just check on them too, just like what a guy did.
So, can you give me a scrutiny perception, please? If you're trying to do this clandestinely, yes, clandestine. Clandestinely, who knows? Yes.
What was clandestine action? Inquiry, you said?
Yes, perception.
Oh, perception?
No, sorry. Yeah, inquiry, perception. You should be able to click on inquiry.
Ah, okay. Sorry. Wish it was fellowship. Sadly, it is not. Bloop. And bloop. Any pluses or minuses?
For this interaction, there are no pluses or minuses.
Hey, I passed!
Okay, with 3 degrees of success. So you see a gentleman who looks, quite old, quite weather-beaten. He has obviously grey hair and a grey beard. And as you're serving drinks to the nobility around in this area, you would hear from Midas. My lords, it is so good to see you again. Edward, it is a pleasure as always. Your friend here, I've only seen him talking to you before. It is a pleasure. I am Midas. I work with gaining funds for charitable businesses such as Skolum. Leader here runs. Ah, yeah, it is good to know that you're with us, Midas, and that all of our funds are so well looked after in your capable hands. Yes, Edward, and I have good news. It appears as if the noble Lord Hoffer has decided to donate more to your charitable work. Yes. Ah, this is excellent news. We shall have a banquet when you are next in, and we shall celebrate this new funds flowing into the Skolum. Estoc doesn't seem to say much. But Midas carries on. I will have to be going now, though, my lord. I must get the paperwork off to the proper authorities, after all. And well, they would want to scrutinize the paperwork to make sure it is all above board. The administratum does love its documents and paperwork. I leave now, my lord. Have a joyous evening. Oh yes, and enjoy the pencil pushing, Midas. Yes, my lord. This is when Estoc, Midas, says goodbye to his lord, goes to turn to Estoc. Let me just make sure. Yes, Estoc actually gets up and leans over and gives Midas a hug. Apologies, it is a custom of my world. It was the most pleasant fraternal brotherhood gesture. A gesture that is of the most pleasant fraternal greeting. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Hopefully I will see you again. Maybe at this banquet. Who knows? He goes back to his seat.
Just to confirm, this is Midas and this is Aztok?
Can you not see their names? Oh, god damn it, none of you can see their names. Mother... Hang on a minute, let me have a look at this. This should be showing all players. Why is it not showing all players? Why?
Did you type their names into the tokens?
Yes, they all have well, no, they all have names on their tokens, and they are all I clicked it on to show names. Why does no players not see my... Oh, you... Hang on. Is that...
Shall I play
right?
a song for Roll20?
Oh, you son... Yeah. Can't... for some reason, Roll20, I forgot, had this lovely setting where you click on show nameplate, but then if you want the players to see it, you have to go onto another option and click on show players. And I forgot about that. So, yeah, they all have... Fuck's sake. They all have names. Got to do it to the ones down here now as well. So you should have been able to be like, oh, okay, so that's someone of interest who I've heard of. That's someone of interest who I've heard of. God damn it. Sometimes I need to set up the Sunakun's screen and actually look through his screen when I'm when I'm building the thing. So I'm like, well, I can see it on my screen, but not just... Oh, I need to... Okay, so there we go. Everyone who has a name can now be seen.
God damn it. They're not Winchesters. Makes me sad.
I didn't have time to change it. So yes, Midas, Estoc, and Edward. I mean, everyone knew who Edward was because he had a fedora on. The only individual wearing a fedora.
Ah, yes. The one very, very important one.
Yes. With the flabbery cheeks.
Flabbery jowls, yes.
Wait, which one was that?
The clap of his dummy thick face cheeks.
No, I was talking about this one down here. Sorry, the hopper.
Oh, what,
Oh.
the sex slave? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex slave.
Oh, she's the most important part.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to know, Liliana? Or roll?
Do I also notice Aztoc's purple eyes?
Yes, deep purple eyes. Can I get an awareness check with a -20? You weren't actually looking at him and serving him a drink.
Very well. Awareness -20. This is going to be bad. If only I hadn't had the -20.
His eyes look weird. I'll give you that much. It was a fail of 1 degree. His eyes do look weird. Very dark purple, and they're very odd.
Would I take anything from that? Because my eyes are also kind of weird because I'm a voidborn.
I mean, your girlfriend has a bionic left eye. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know, there are weirdities that go on. His eyes just look weird and are very, very dark purple. So yes, it's basically at that point then that Midas leaves to go and do pencil pushing. Goodbye, Midas, my old friend. Can we fuck you off over there? God damn it, I can't. Actually, hang on. He does go out the front door. But I've got a little hidden area at the back here that I can hide tokens in, so... Ignore him. He didn't just walk through the wall. Didn't happen, I tell you. So, for Mordecai, as you are in the sexy room, sexy room, you can see that it is getting into full swing down here. These poor bastards have been going now. It's 8 o'clock. They started at 5:30. They've been going a while. You can see that there's a lot of fatigue going on. There's a lot of people who are... You look deep into the orgy and you can see people just lying down and having a rest. Just like, look, we'll all take turns in the middle to have a rest at times. We'll be like the penguins and just rotate.
That's what I say. It's like a penguin orgy.
So, at this point, you can see a large group of, well, a medium-sized group of men who are stood. 2 of them are talking to each other, like not glancing over at the orgy every now and then, but mainly they're socializing. The big dude with the tall hat, he is watching the orgy with just rapture. Like, he can't seem to take his eyes off. The other 2 like grab him by the shoulder at times to get his input, and he literally keeps looking at the orgy and just says his input and then turns back to it. Occasionally he just strikes the woman standing next to him. There's a small brown-haired girl with light skin and bruises and cuts, who seems to follow him along very submissively. Just body language just screams abusey. She's tucked into herself while standing up, kind of shaking a little bit and twitching every now and then, and you can just see her mouth just move ever so slightly, almost as if she's mumbling.
Can I try and do something just to find the other psyker from in here that I detected while moving around and giving drinks?
So the way that I do psykers finding each other, you have a radius. You're currently kind of in the max radius of where there's a psyker in the room, in the house, other than Liliana, of course.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you guys could be caught just as easily.
Yeah.
Which is basically just me running around with an NPC pinging constantly. I can easily screw you guys over a lot easier than you can get me. So the way I'm going to run it is, once you're in too closer of a proximity, for example a house, you can't get any closer unless they use a power. If they use a power or something warpy happens around them, then you can pinpoint them. But just like her, she knows that there are 2 psykers. I've let part of it go. There are 2 psykers in the building anyway. But they can't find you.
Yeah, it's fine. So I'm gonna make my way around the edges of the orgy, offering anyone that wants a drink, and make towards the group in the corner.
Okay.
And try and wait on them. Ask, is there any drinks or perhaps some food I can get you, my lords? And I kind of nod to them, like deep bow and nod to each of them.
The sex slave leans over to Lord Hoffer, tugging gently on the coat, on his coat, ever so gently. He leans an ear in, and she just goes onto her tiptoes and whispers something into his ear. He seems to mull something over in his head, and you would hear him say, "Tell him I'll be with him in an hour or so." Actually, I'm going to have to use a different voice. What voice do I use for Hoffer? Because that's going to get very confusing if they're both talking to each other in the same voice.
Yeah.
We'll use Ebadiah's voice. "Tell him I'll be with him in an hour." More. You see the girl flinch as her master barks the order, and then you see her Mordecai like touch her ear ever so slightly. She clearly has a comm bead in. The other lords, Sam and Dean, I believe it was actually, they both take a sparkling wine from you. Come now, Hoffa, come now. Surely we can talk of old times, can we not? Yes. You pull your eyes away from the ball of flesh there. It is... Oh, hang on. I may have... This is the problem with having too many... Oh, you didn't know which ones they were. Good point. I could have just lied. Because they are different. Open? Oh, there it is. Yes, come now. It is hardly artistic. It's hardly a performance. It's just flesh, Hoffa. Merely flesh. Quiet. I enjoy flesh. There's something simple in flesh, unlike your fancies with those artisans of yours. Well, at least I could take my eyes off of my projects and communicate like a decent member of nobility, Hoffa. Hoffa turns his eyes away from the party. Look, I have put on this event at great expense so that you may talk and flab your lips. So what if I wish to enjoy what I have paid for? You, come on, get in there. Fucking put your hips into it. You see Hoffa snap away from his conversation, move over to the orgy. He takes his cane that he has, hits a recess on the cane. You see the top flip open and a needle appear. He stabs it into the man, who shrieks in alarm and a fair bit of pain before he just twitches out and begins fucking this bird with renewed vigor, let's say. Better. So what did you want anyway? Bring me an amasec, would you, boy?
Right away, sir. And for your companion?
Did I say I wanted another drink?
No, sir.
Spin for me.
I do a twirl for him and spin around.
Do you use your pole dancing moves to do a little twirl around? Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm gonna try. It's gonna go badly, but I'm gonna try.
Oh no. Okay, please roll me your pole dancing performance.
Could I argue performance agility?
You can. I will allow that.
You gotta be flexible.
I am going to fate point that. Because I want to try and use this for something useful. Come on.
Oh, Jesus.
Holy
So you just go on like the balls of your feet and just spin round in a ballerina spin, raising the plate of drinks with still champagne flutes on it up above your head as you spin round like a little ballerina. Jesus Christ. In your latex tight fitting clothes. You have some get in there.
God damn it, Monica, you idiot.
No, wait. We will we'll save you. Get my drink. Come back. Quick. He licks his lips as he says that.
I guess Ted, you're gonna get shockered.
You should have taken the 82. You really should have taken the 82.
Oh my god, why would you do that? Why?
Look, I got asked to roll something, and it's a new skill, so I wanted it to succeed.
Why do you have performance stripper?
Because he spent a week with the strippers.
Oh god, did you actually buy that?
Yeah.
You got it free.
Oh my god.
So I do a half spin round and quickly go get him his Amasek and bring it back to him.
Okay, so as you come back, he takes the drink. Oh god, right. So where are their names? So Sam is the artisan lover. Dean's the other one. Where, Hoffa, have you never seen my artists paint? Have you not seen the beauty they create? It's like old times, you know? It brings back memories, not this fading, aging flesh. Well, it pleases me. He snatches the drink and drinks a decent gulp from it. Now look, we must talk, Hoffa. The Countess is losing favour with us. When was the last time she took counsel with you? Well, you almost see the anger flourish back at something that's bringing him away from his orgy, before he does take a more serious tone. It's been some time, actually. I have been most disturbed. Since she called in that cursed founding of hers, she has not taken any consult with me at all. This includes messages. Yes, me as well, Hoffa. She refuses to take my counsel, and although I've had many fine works made of her, she will not go to any galleries or any exhibitions. It is most frustrating. We have clearly done something to upset the order, or others have come in. What of your project, Hoffa? Ended in disaster? Did it not? Yes. Those fuckers couldn't keep their shit together and were wiped out. And what of it? A failed investment happens all the time. Why should it matter if I fail? Dean? I was merely bringing up the fact that could be why she is so displeased. And what about you then? What have you fucking done? I have done nothing, Hoffa. I do not have the tastes of you or Sam here. Well, it is not my... Sam, you waste your coffers. Your thrones are thrown at your artisans, and what do you get back from it? All of my endeavours to bring in more profit to this world have failed. My manufactorums were sabotaged. You not forget, you miserable wretches. I'd thought that was you. But now I see... It fucking was me, alright. What? Well... To help our allies, they needed new recruits, so... The best place to get them was... And you have so many manufactorums of tinkering and crappy goods that I thought you wouldn't mind. So you are the reason my profit margin is down? Hoffa, I think I am done with you for the evening, but I will take your hospitality Maybe I could drink enough to make back what I have lost. You can see Hoffa goes red in the face as Dean leaves. Hang on. Is it Dean leaves or Dean and Sam? Ah, yes. He just leaves on his own. He comes in here and begins to drink and enjoy the hospitality of House Hoffa. You would notice that Sam and Hoffa begin to buddy up a bit, Mordecai. For the moment, it seems like Hoffa has forgotten about you. Let me see. Yeah, sadly, that's all that you get from them. So, I've just noticed the time. How are we all doing?
Good.
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 Okay.
Or
So, we
That's going to
move...
bite me in the ass.
We move
no,
on
something
to...
else is going to do that.
We move on to
Someone.
part 4. Sorry, part 3, rather. So, let me move around. So, for quick note, Mordecai, if you stay serving... Well, yeah, you're still serving in this room. You see Dean and Hoffa, they don't actually get involved in the orgy, but they do go around and they start just giving people random drugs. They jab one poor girl with a drug that just seems to make her completely lose consciousness. Like, she is just out of it on the floor, just like writhing, eyes crossed, almost rolling into the back of her head. They laugh at this. Another guy gets stabbed with another needle, and he all of a sudden just huge burst of energy picks up one girl on standing up, fucking her, whilst lifting another girl above his head whilst trying to eat her out, and it doesn't last long before he collapses to the floor. Doesn't look too good, like clutching his chest. Yeah, this kind of activity goes on for some time. In part 3, yeah, so basically in part 3, they have continued. The sex slave comes to... Oh, sorry, at the end of part 2, you see the sex slave go up to Hoffa, pull on his jacket, whisper something into his ear. He strikes her, sending her across the room into the pole, into one of the uprights that holds the roof up, or looks like it holds the roof up. That shakes. You see her like go into the fetal position, and he just shouts out, "I will see him when I'm ready. I'm enjoying myself with my good friend here." And basically, those two start doing drugs themselves at part 3. So as part 3 starts, you see them doing drugs.
I am glad Liliana isn't there.
Yeah, so am I, to be honest.
Because honestly, that's a trigger.
Okay, so if you'd like to position yourselves for part 3, if you want to stay in the same rooms, you can. If not, you can mix it up. But you do see the trader captain leave. Sorry, not that group. Leave the lady there and come over to here to speak to Edward and Estoc.
If Mordecai stays in the orgy room, I'm gonna stay over here. If Mordecai comes out of the orgy room, I'll go to the orgy room. And we'll be waiting up on Mordecai in this instance.
Oh,
Cool.
I'm staying in the orgy room.
You're pole dancing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm moving his hand. Right. So, positions are locked. Darius, you see a sleek lander come down, land. A servitor gets out with 3 crates, walks up to the door, basically announces, I'm the delivery servitor of the rogue trader captain Jack Briston. I think it's Val Rose, actually. Here to deliver, and, you know, saying 1,000-year-old Ultramar Amasek. They get a combi, they let it in. Dean would take notice. Basically, the rogue trader captain hands out drinks to, like, he calls his servitor over, takes bottles, starts pouring drinks for people. Before, when part 3 starts, he is over with these individuals. So Liliana, it is up to you where you'd like to position yourself in this room. If you want to stay near the rogue trader captain for the first part, you can, or if you want to go over to the other lord, you can.
Just from what it looks like this guy is currently alone.
Yes.
So
there are minor nobles around him, just to let you know. There are a lot more people here than our tokens on the board.
Because here's what I'm thinking. Since technically the rogue trader is in our team, I don't have to keep a watch on him, just at the eavesdrop right now. So I'm going to be eavesdropping on him, and if nothing happens, I will go back up to eavesdrop on them. So for now, I'll be in this area. And, you know, I'll be walking around, but I'll start over here.
Sure. Okay. A lot of loud talking can be heard over in this corner of the room, ranging around the would anyone like a drink? It's 1,000-year-old. And then some very flabbery, what? 1,000 years? No. Yeah, there's a lot of flabbering going on from his side. Sadly, I can only do it when I jibber jab on my cheeks. It's not nice. So, Liliana, from what you can hear, unless you would like to talk to the Lord, is just that, yeah, so do you want to talk to him or just listen into what he's talking about with minor nobles?
I mean, I'll approach and offer them drinks, but I'm not going to directly talk to them.
Okay then, can I get the same roll? An inquiry perception, please. This time flat.
I will take that.
Take that.
Good. Much better.
Fucking hell. A lot of low numbers coming in. Nuffle does want you to at least succeed a little bit here. So, Dean has a number of minor nobles around him. There's a lot of talk about business and how's the Countess. He plays up that the Countess is doing well. She wishes the founding was a little bit more accepted. Was that his voice? Yeah, I think it was. Accepted, but blah 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 blah. There's a lot of mundane stuff that you overhear. But a few nobles do. So what was it like back there? We don't have the gumption to go, but what was it? It's not what you'd expect. It's kind of repulsive, really. That merging of common flesh is just. It is nothing like the intimacy that a nobleman and a noble lady enjoy. Clearly disgusted at the whole orgy itself, it turns out.
Liliana will remember this.
Also, not nearly high, not nearly as high as the rest of the people in here. He does have drinks in his hand and is clearly, a bit pissed, but you haven't seen him do anything else other than drink. Mordecai, things have got worse. In your little section, things keep getting worse. The noble lords are now like, they've gone a bit bored with giving people random drugs and watching the effects, and they're now like kicking, poking, prodding, stamping. None of the performers, we'll call them, are really like stopping what's going on, but you can definitely see that it's taking a nastier turn. And it's at that point when Sam actually steps back from it, as the laughing's kind of stopped. It's taking on a more serious turn, as Hoffa just seems to be enjoying going round, whipping, stamping, kicking, prodding, all kinds of clubbing. One person, he takes out a kosh, smack. Wonder if that happens if I do it with a woman. Smack. Yeah, it does. I like these things. Smack. Oh, hang on. I'm knocking out people who are meant to be having sex. Hang on. Stimulant. Oh, look, they're awake again. Stimulant.
Jesus Christ.
I wonder how angry he'd be if I set him on fire.
Knocks another one out. Just put stim in. He's like, more stim. Yeah, seems to be alive again. Interesting. It's about an hour of this goes on, so it's about 9 o'clock now when he kind of starts getting bored with this. The sex slave is just in the fetal position, just rocking back and forth, when she gets up immediately, just stands up rigid, and walks over to Hoffa, tugs on his sleeve. Yes, fine, I should have dealt with that earlier. Fine, we will see him. Invite him in. Let's see what he thinks of this little charade, shall we? Liliana, you hear,
Oh dear.
You hear that I must go. I have been invited by the Lord Hoffa to see the more seedy sides. Please enjoy the Amasek. I'll just take a bottle with me. Take one with you, why don't you? Always remember my name. And as he comes into the sex party, you'd see that Sam leaves. Doesn't say anything to Hoffa. To the captain. And Liliana, he doesn't say anything to Dean either. He leaves after all of this. Kind of definitely someone who's taken a shitload of drugs and alcohol. Not going to even try and hide that. But he's like twitching and shaking and just doing odd motions and gestures that you're just a little bit like, okay, it's noteworthy.
Yeah, I'm also going to take note of that because that guy seems suspicious as all hell. This guy seems less suspicious. If the Dean Jefferson just stays here, I will go back to here after the perpetrator leaves. Because if he's just there talking to people and being just normal, strangely enough, which is also highly suspicious, but less so, I'll go back here, eavesdrop a little bit more. But that's it.
Okay. So up here, essentially, you don't have to so much roll for this. It seems as if Estoc has reached the end of his limit that he can take with the nobility, the food, the drink, and just all this nonsense. And he wishes his lord good night and returns to his work, which involves him leaving. Darius, you do see this individual leave and head off.
Okay.
You have no idea if that means anything.
Because only one person has a way of communicating outside of here, and they are not using it.
Well, no. Technically, the rogue trader did use it. He called down. The rogue trader did use it. He called down the transport to bring his Amasek.
Oh, I was meaning a more psychic means.
Oh, okay. You could see.
Someone
could have like.
You guys didn't bring your comrades.
Someone could have got the rogue trader's attention and be like, can you send a message, please? But no one did.
I mean, probably so far I have not seen anything they should take note. Yes, I stuck leaving is something that is noteworthy, but the rogue trader is over here now.
Yeah.
And Mordecai did warn me that there was someone else's special in the body, so I was like, better not use anything right now.
Sure. So for Mordecai, you see the rogue trader come in. So is there something, Jim?
Can I actually do assign instance now that I have stock left?
Sure, you can do that.
I'm just checking because he did have something weird about him. Specifically his eyes, so maybe he was the target that I was talking about, but I do not know.
There's still a psyker in the building.
Gotcha.
There's still a dampening around certain individuals, certain nobility seem to have psi dampeners on. To lesser degrees, some of them have just, there's a little bit of fuzziness around them, maybe like a -5. Others have more powerful ones, however.
-5s already? What?
No, -5 to you.
Silence, gotcha.
Well, no, so if it was an opposed test, you'd have a -5 to reading their thoughts, for example.
Gotcha.
But others have more powerful ones. But yeah, there's still a psyker in the building, other than Mordecai and yourself. So, the captain looks over at the orgy. Ah, nice bum.
Can I go over to him and offer him a drink?
Why are so many of them unconscious and look as if they're about to does he need a Medicaid? Dude clutching his chest.
They've been enjoying the Lord's gifts.
There's probably a guy that is already blue.
Just a weird pus coming out of his ear.
I
No, it's not pus.
don't. I have a drink, thank you. Thank you. In fact, get me a fresh glass, would you? I would like to share a glass with Hoffa. He looks over at the only notable noble there. Hoffa looks at him as if, who the fuck are you? What do you want? Fuck off. Hoffa. Hoffa, my old friend. It has been too long. Well, in fact, it's been, we've never met, but I know that your family and my family once did great business together. My uncle told me of such things. The fuck? Which uncle? What the fuck you on about? I heard a rogue trader was... I am a rogue trader, Lord Hoffa. Here, have a glass of 1,000-year-old Ultramarian Amasek. Only the finest brought to you, my good man. Fucking 1,000 years? No, it fucking can't be. Takes a sip, So what did you want, anyway? To reunite old ties, to learn more about my uncle who sadly passed away. I was hoping we could reignite our old family ties and trading deals and so on and so forth. Fucking Hoffers don't trade in anything anymore. We do management, hive, municipalities, and fucking shit like that. We haven't traded in 80 years or more. And long before my time. Ah, you don't have any interest in trading, then? No, luxury items I could interest you in, Hoffa? I've got everything I need right here, actually. I thought you would come with like a proposition, an idea to use my noble name on this world to get yourself some sort of goods. And they wanted me to fucking buy it. Go to the guilds. My dear Hoffa, it sounds as if you are annoyed at me being here. This is not very welcoming of a high nobility to higher nobility. Yeah, you're fucking right, I'm higher nobility. No, my good man. Oh no. You misunderstand me. What is higher than space? Hoffa doesn't take the joke well. Bit of a raging match starts where you see Briston stand there, you know, very calm, very poised, as this drug-infused lunatic starts screaming at him about how he's the highest nobility that you can get other than the planetary governess. How dare he, that space gypsy, travelling round in your tin can. It gets worse. But the rogue trader stands there and takes it with an air of dignity and decorum. Well, Hoffa, I'm sorry to hear you say that. It seems as if your family has gone far too down the degenerate route. I see you have fucked your mother and your sister multiple times by now. I hope your spawn have a more pleasant tongue than yours. He cries out for his guards as the captain leaves. For Liliana, you hear this going on. All the nobles do. They all have a look over and see the argument going on. The guards rush through here. Auto guns at the ready. The captain looks at them with an air of derision, just utter nothing. He turns round to the nobility here, and my dear ladies and gentlemen, it appears as if I have offended our host. Please enjoy the amasec. It is a gift from, and as he leaves, from Captain Jack Briston von Rose, rogue trader. If you ever need any luxury goods, I trade with this planet guild, my lord. He actually bows to Dean, who has also taken note of this and is looking round with a kind of surprised air. I cannot stay in a place as disgusting as this. You understand, we are far cleaner in space. We do not have so much filth breeding and allowed to get to such a position. I hope the other nobles, he looks at Dean, are of a better cut than the Lord Hoffa. Good day. And he leaves. He walks off a little bit before calling in someone. You probably, Darius, you can see the rogue trader leaving. He calls someone, and a car comes very, very quickly to pick him up. Excuse me. Didn't take my finger off push to talk then, like a jackass. Yeah, a car comes to pick him up in about, this is the best Uber you've ever seen. It's about 30 seconds after he gets off the combead when a vehicle arrives.
The hell's an Uber?
Ah, not rich enough.
We actually don't have Uber over here, so...
Neither do I where I live. So, you will see, Mordecai, that Hoffa just goes berserk. The poor slave woman's takes a bit of a beating, to be honest with you. He does strike a few of the other performers in his rage before vowing vengeance on this so-called rogue trader, and dragging the girl by her hair off into the mansion. She basically grabs hold of his arm, like does her absolute best to grab hold of that arm and not let go. It's basically at this point that the party rapidly starts coming to an end. As you see the guards, Liliana, not really sure what to do. They were called and then they get called outside and they disappear. You just hear guards. You hear Carapace armor being hit with a bludgeon, with a cane of some sort. You can hear like twacks, twacks. You imagine whoever's wearing the armor doesn't feel any pain, but apparently Hoffa is having a bitching fit, striking at his guards for not shooting the captain as soon as they saw him. Basically, everyone starts leaving at this point, except from the staff and the servers. All the nobility just kind of leave. Liliana, you're in the wrong area, but will you give me a perception test, please? Yeah, we'll use perception for this because you're not trying to do it You're not trying to do this secretly.
Awareness, just awareness.
Yes.
Flat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can, as all the nobles are basically leaving, a couple of them are grabbing like a bottle of Amasec to go, because clearly dude doesn't like Hoffa and he left 3 boxes here, so I'll just take one to go, you know. Dean grabs a bottle, looking at this ancient Ultramar script that says, you know, the finest vineyards on Ultramar of this year, stamped with the official seal of the Administratum. And he's just looking at some of the other nobles, just like, who was that? And that's when they're like, oh, it was Captain Jack Briston von Rose, whatever his name is, before he leaves. And you hear that he seems to take an interest in our captain, who is actually off screen. Casper, you see multiple cars coming. It seems as if now there's just this line of taxis all driving down, all coming to pick up nobles and take them away. And at about 10 o'clock in the evening, the sex party has come to an end. Strangely enough, it doesn't seem as if any trouble really went down. Who knew? Who knew?
It's all because I didn't set that guy on fire.
Maybe. But this is also where we're going to end our episode. Our group will pack up their things and will make their way back to their hideout. If they want to ask me anything about what was going on or connect some of the clues, we may let you know next time. But for now, that is the end of our episode. I certainly hope you've enjoyed this episode, which was... I'm going to see what my players thought of it. It was meant to be a different one. There were a lot of clues dropped, a lot of dots connected, and we'll see how much they actually got. And I'll inform you all in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Big shout out to Hook Sounds for providing the soundtracks to this series, which I forgot to shout out at the start. Bad me. They're still going to copyright me, so it doesn't matter. Take care, everyone. And as always, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
See ya.
Or...